Now, Minmus is getting ever closer. I'm sorry for anyone that's getting dizzy here. Oh, God! May have been going a bit too far with that, and I'm not gonna lie. Alright everybody, hello and welcome back to another episode on Kerbal Space Program with me, Spacefish, and welcome back to beautiful, good old Kerbal Space Center. In the last episode, we made it all the way out to Minmus for our newest bunch of the missions, doing a little slingshot by Minmus in order to proceed further down the storyline, and what a beautiful sight it was indeed. Today though, we are set to be returning to Minmus, because now our task is going to be, as far as I can remember, to go ahead and get an orbit going around Minmus and go for a little bit of a spacewalk. So that should be quite fun indeed. Should mean a whole lot more science for us as well, because we have not been in space near Minmus yet. And, well, should make for an interesting mission. Now, today we're going to start preparing for that purpose. We do, of course, already have a rocket that pretty much got us to Minmus, and I'm rather confident that it would probably already be able to, in and for itself, take care of the mission for us, but we may be a little close-ish in terms of the Delta V available. So, we're just going to beef it up a little bit more today, and then we're going to go use that rocket to go and get ourselves on the way. Before we do that though, if you're new around here and if you do happen to enjoy this very episode, of course, please make sure to go ahead and smash that subscribe button right down below. That would really help out a ton. We're currently well on our way to 1,000 subscribers, and every single person just does so much for these sorts of goals. With that out of the way though, let us go, and first things first, have a little look at our whole Kerbal Space Center here, because if you remember, in the R&D facility here, we do currently have a little bit of an issue. The issue is that our max amount of science points is limited to 500. So, we're going to have to decide to either invest a whole lot of money to go and raise that limit, or to go ahead and research a whole bunch of stuff. Now, I mean, researching may be a cool idea, because, you know, I mean, it would most definitely help us out with the new parts and stuff that we got, but I'm feeling that, I mean, technically we do have the money. And I don't really urgently want any parts now. I do have quite the strong feeling, I have to say, that one of the next missions is probably going to be landing on Minmus. And for that purpose, you know, having a proper lander going, you know, something with beefed up parts, or maybe like the landing module even that is available separately, and, you know, some proper lander engines, and like just some components that help out quite a ton with that would be great. So of course we could already look into that and kind of just try researching away to the best of our abilities. But honestly, I mean, we do have $2 million. And, I mean, if we do have a quick look, we may want to confirm that at the very least. So let's have a quick look that technically, I think we can easily afford whatever rocket we used. I think it was Minmus. It makes sense, right? The naming. Sometimes a little hard to actually remember what he named these things. So this thing, yeah, it's 50 grand. Honestly, even if we spend 1.6 million on that upgrade, we are going to have more than enough money to get that next mission underway, and then, honestly, with the extra money we earn, we should hopefully have more than enough money for the succeeding mission too. So, fingers crossed, I guess, that we don't mess anything up right here. It's interesting, right? Our VAB? Well, our VAB is not actually already maxed, so, didn't know that. It's not actually even that expensive, but we didn't really have much of an issue there yet. I think the launch pad is maxed, as you can see. Tracking station, not even close, but we didn't really go that far away from Kerbin yet, I suppose. And, we don't really do that many contracts, do we? So we don't even care much about that. And, well, the spaceplane hangar is even at level wow. So, you know, we have made quite a bit of progress on this whole stuff ever since, I would say. So that is really quite nice indeed. But today we are going to be going and moving on to level 3 of the R&D facility. And Jesus Christ, that looks cool, doesn't it? I'm loving that. Got a little telescope right there. It's all nice and awesome. So the only thing that we do get from that is the unlimited research science limit. But I mean, that's all that we really wanted. So happy about that. And if you compare to all the other things, well, strategies. We haven't been using strategies at all yet, so, well, I don't know. I'm not sure if those are missing too much. Well, maybe we do look at those at some point, right? Maybe worth it. We will consider it. Now, for the time being, what we will go ahead and do is we will go and beef up this rocket a little bit. And the question is, where? Or how? I mean, how is quite evident. We're going to slap more fuel on it, right? I am thinking we may want to slap one more stage on the main stage and one more stage on the space stage. I think we're just going to do it like that. So, let us go and find whatever fuel tank we were using here. Not that one. This one, maybe? Nope. It's always great, right? All of the fuel tanks are white. It's like, would you guys be able to instantly tell which fuel tank we need here? I'm not. I am absolutely not. I mean, these are too big. That's too small. That one was too... Was it? Yeah, that one was too small as well. Which one is it? Is it this? It seems to be somehow. But not quite. Jesus Christ. I mean, the diameter is fine, but, like, not the length. Oh, this one. Yeah, there we go. So, found out which one it is. I guess we need to color it in? Maybe? Do we color these things? I'm so confused. Anyways, let's go and slap on the other one. Find the remainder of our stage again. And slap the thing together. So, you know, that should hopefully cover us here for the time being. And then, yes, there's the variant. Fully white. Could do that. I mean, I kind of like the black and orange. No, the grey and orange, rather. So, should we do a little something like that for a change? I like the optic. Let's go and switch it up a little bit. Right? I'm gonna do a little grey and orange rocket, you know, a little bit Soyuz style. I like it. It's beautiful. Absolutely great. Now, of course, the shroud is the only thing that I cannot make that colour. Well, except for the stack separators. But still, I think it looks quite cool. These things here, unfortunately... Ooh! Didn't know that was an option. It's also quite cool. But we'll keep them white for the time being. Maybe we'll use that in some future stage. Let's go ahead and double check that we did not go and mess the staging up here, which I would argue we kind of have messed it up a little bit. So more like that would be the plan. Ignite all the engines. Detach that. Detach these. Detach that. Engine ignition. And that here is also a bit botched, right? Detach that first, then you can open the parachute. Cool. So, that is that, I would say. I mean, we don't really need much more than that, I think. So, we'll do a little V1.1 here. Save it as is, and then the one thing I do need to make sure is that we do have the right people on board. Right, Bill? What are you doing in that command pod again, just sneaking in? Flippin' bugger. We want their scientists. Sorry, Bill, but, like, Jesus Christ. Maybe we do. At some point, I also want to build a rocket with, well, we don't... Oh, that's the point. That's something maybe we want to research. Right, a command pod that can get 3 people in there. Because I would like to, firstly, get the trio going again, right? Jeb, Bill, Bob. Good old times. Secondly, I mean, it makes a whole lot of sense if we do have the engineer as well, because we can repair stuff, we can go get stuff set up, and I think for some of the static science experiments that we have these days, we may even need an engineer. Yep, as you can see right here. So we don't have many of those yet, but we will probably go and research a few of those before we go and land on Minmus, because it's just going to yield us so much more science, right? And we want all the science we can get to be able to research even more stuff, so it's definitely going to be on the list right there, I would say. For today, though, save that thing once more. You know, make sure that the right people are in the rocket. Looking at you, Bill. Stay away. And then, before Bill inevitably goes in to yank Bob out of the rocket and put himself in it, let's go ahead and hit that launch button, shall we? So, was there the option to launch the rocket in a different game? I am confused. I don't know what was what were the options right there, but well, you know, if you saw, let me know down below in the comments. But for today, we are going to keep this as is, and we're going to hope that this extra fuel is going to mean enough. I'm quite sure it is, honestly. I mean, we were already quite good previously, but now should really be quite good. Just double checking, triple checking, quadruple checking that we have the scientist here. And then, I would say, we can pretty much launch off right into orbit, right? As usual, nothing all too crazy about this, I would hope. Just going to throttle up all the way for the initial launch, and then we're going to throttle back down quite quickly, I would argue. And then, get the resource monitor up and running right here. And we'll launch in 3, 2, 1... engine ignition, and away these things go. And then, you know, this stuff pretty much just goes instantly. And we will instantly also try and very, very slightly, ever so slightly, initiate that turn. Because we all know that I'm just, like, pretty much only going on solid fuel now for the first few minutes, and well, we don't really have that much control over the rocket with... oh god, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. With solid fuel only. Right, we are missing the thrust vectoring, which is, I would argue, an important point to keep the darn thing stable. I'm going to add a little bit of thrust to that main stage, just to get a tad bit of that important thrust vectoring to get the rocket at least somewhat stable. But we're pretty much turning from the start, because as the amount of control I have over the rocket currently is so low due to mainly only having the solid fuel boosters which don't have thrust vectoring, I just, you know, need some time to get this thing turned. Right, there go, the solid fuel boosters! Oh my god, did you see that? We really clipped that thing so hard, that was scary. I was worried there for a second. That could have absolutely just exploded in our face. But cool, there we go. With that, I would say we can go and continue on our little turneroo. And now you can see just how much the level of control increased here, right? Periapsis is rising nicely, and we're just going to keep turning into this. Air's getting very nice and thin anyway, so I'm not too worried about that. And we're pretty much just going to keep going like that, maybe with a little bit of an angle, you know. Making sure to bring up that apoapsis a little bit too. So we get into the thinner air and have a little bit less of an air resistance. But otherwise, making a nice move right here. You can see just how much of an orbit we've already got going like this. Well, how much of an orbit in terms of how much lateral velocity we've already got going, right? It's going to be a few minutes till orbit, but in general, I would say we're making some very, very nice progress. I think the goal is to probably level the thing out at like 80,000 meters, so we can already just point at the horizon pretty much, and we're going to go get to 80,000 meters at any point now, at which point we're just going to go and call it a day, and then we will finish the rest. That's fine. Then we'll finish the rest of the orbit once we do get to the apoapsis, and we'll do that in space, where there's nicely no air resistance, and everything's nice and fine. So, getting that thing planned then, that is totally fine. We don't need a precision maneuver right here. We'll keep it at that. And I will go ahead and already get the rocket moved slowly but surely onto that little blue marker. And then we can pretty much just fast forward once we have this thing aligned. So, Jeb, Bill? No, Jeb, Bob, sorry. I'm getting so used to Bill already sneaking in there. Jeb, Bob, quite content, so that's very nice. Rocket kind of unaligned itself. Not very nice. We will go and fix that real quick. And, well, that should be somewhat fine. So, 1 minute 20 till the burn. It's only a 20-second burn, so that's quite nice. We can start at like 10 seconds ahead, and then we go past the burn marker as usual. Let's go ahead and slow down the time warp right there. Just using a tad bit of RCS to make sure we're properly aligned here. It was still a bit wonky. I mean, there is, after all, still a lot of weight currently to this rocket, so that does not help. But then we go for our beautiful burn here. And the stage is going to be more than enough to complete it, so that is great. I'm not sure how it went on the last one, to be honest, so feel free to tell me just how much better we're doing on this stage. I hope we're doing better, not worse, you know. You never know. Inefficient piloting could all happen. But that's 1 meter a second off. Just gonna do the last boops, and that should be totally fine. If we remove the little maneuver node, you will be able to see we've now beautifully achieved orbit around Kerbin. Absolutely glorious. Now, planning the next maneuver is going to be interesting, because we've only got 239 meters a second left in this stage, so I mean, we're going to get a whole lot more kick out of that stage once we get rid of that one, so it's going to be a bit of an issue timing that one, I can imagine. We need to see just how we can do that, but for the time being, I guess, let's just go ahead, get this thing planned, and we'll try our best to adjust for things. The question is, so Minmus is right there, so I guess our next optimal burn must be somewhere over here. I think we can already make ends meet basically based on Minmus' position. I would hope that we don't have to wait, but we will need to find out here. So let's go ahead and pull out that orbit for the time being. Oh boy, no, we don't want a Kerbin escape, thank you very much. We may have to wait a little bit. I mean, then again, the ideal intercept would be more around there, and you can see it's not catching anytime soon. So when we go to our apoapses, wait, ascending node, descending node. I want like some separation statistics, please. Huh. I think we do have to wait. Oh my god, oh wow. That's a lot of orbits. Yeah, this is going to take a while for Minmus to get there, isn't it? I mean, it wasn't necessarily wrong to be going that fast. You can see just how long it is still going to take for Minmus to get anywhere close. So, yeah. Kerbal Nauts will have to chill in space for a minute or two. Or 20 bajillion. Look at how many days this is taking. Wow. Now, Minmus is getting ever closer. I'm sorry for anyone that's getting dizzy here. Oh, God! May have been going a bit too far with that one, I'm not gonna lie. We may have just time warped past our little optimal transition time. You can see though that generally speaking, I mean, Minmus is orbiting rather slowly, so I'm hoping that we can still somehow make it work. Ideally without leaving Kerbin's orbit, you know. What is wrong out there? Not quite getting the issue here. Oh. Oh, we did absolutely warp. Oh my god. Well, we totally time warped like 2 bajillion years past the node, unfortunately, because I'm an absolute professional. Do we have a quick save to load here? I'm kind of hoping so. What do we... When was the last quick save? Yeah, so that is definitely before we... No. Okay. So we've got 2 options. Either... Wait, let's see just how much more delta V we're gonna use if we go and adjust our orbit to try and match that of Kerbin, right? It's not that much. No, wait, that's a Kerbin escape. Closest approach, 9,000 target position at closest approach. So we need to kind of move over more like that. Then we've got a periapsis of 9 million. Well, I mean, of 1.9 million rather, sorry. So, I mean, to be honest, it's like 30 meters a second more. We're just going to do it like this. It should be fine. I mean, if you look at just how much delta V we have, we're not going to wait for Kerbin to do another half, or like for Minmus to do another half orbit of Kerbin. That's going to take way too long. Right, and could even end up failing some contracts in the meanwhile. I don't even know. So we're not going to wait that long. 30 meters a second, I would say, is totally fine. We could, in fact, probably even make it a lot better here. Well... I mean, we do gain a lot in terms of how close we get by fine-tuning this. Oh wow, look at that, 24,000. So, I mean, we went down 2 million meters by adding another 60 meters a second. So that's totally worth it. Once we do get to Minmus, we will need way more effort to get ourselves over there. So, let's make that the plan, right? 1,000 meters a second and delta V, I think, is doable. We've got like 3,300 still on this stage, so should be more than sufficient in my mind. Now, our node happens in 11 minutes, so we'll need to go and get ourselves over there, and then the burn time is kind of a bit of a question of how we're going to do that. I mean, it says 47 seconds now. I feel it's when we get rid of the stage. I mean, it's totally going to be more like 30 seconds, maybe? It's going to be an issue, right? Because we can't quite make it the precision burn I would like to make it. So, we may end up struggling with that a little bit. Oh, God. Let's not time warp past things again. I am going a little fast today, I would argue. But we're going to go and align on the marker with the RCS, just, you know, making sure that everything's nicely balanced out and we don't have any issues. 46 seconds means... Oh, my God! I did not just do that, did I? I did not just do that! I panicked. I wanted to hit Y, and I hit space. And now we're missing a stage. Okay. We're missing some delta V now, everyone. We're missing like 300 meters a second in delta V, and we will have to hope that somehow we make this burn still. So, that's beautiful. That is absolutely glorious. Let me go and get that one finished like that. I don't really know what to say. I panicked. I'm sorry. We've got like 1,000 meters of delta V maybe to close the orbit. We'll have to hope that we somehow make it. So, remember to quick save, kids. Remember to quick save. In any case, though, that is then pretty much our burn over to Minmus now complete. I would say that we catch up again on the next episode to try and find out just how well we can actually make this happen. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we will make it over. We'll get the orbit done, and we will make it back, and we don't have 2 stranded Kerbal nauts. We're taking the risk now. Fingers crossed for that. For today, we're ending it off on that little cliffhanger. I hope you all very much enjoyed the episode. Of course, if you did, please make sure to go ahead and smash that like button right down below. And if you're new around here and want to stay around and stay up to date on what happens to Jeb and Bob in the next episode, make sure to smash that subscribe button right down below, as well as the bell icon right next to it, in order to stay up to date on all the future upcoming episodes. With all those things out of the way, though, as usual, people, thank you so much for watching, and I hope I'll catch you in the next episode very, very soon. Ciao.